Welcome back, everybody, to the Cave of Wonders. This is Mr. Wonderboy. We are playing Starcraft, and this game is brought to you by GameAnyone.com. Alright, so we have finished the Terran campaign, and now we're on to the Zerg campaign. Get ready. Zerg campaign Overmind. The swarms have crushed the meager human resistance and laid waste to 9 of the 13 Terran worlds. Shortly after the fall of the Terran capital world of Tarsonis, the main Protoss fleet abandoned the Terran sector. Now, efforts continue on Tarsonis to weed out the remaining Protoss forces. We're going to be introduced to the Overmind, and his voice is awesome! Among the ruins, Confederate capital world Tarsonis.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my cerebrates, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now, and keep safe my prize.
Yes, my lord. End of briefing. Oh yeah, so this is pretty much a introduction into the mechanics of the Zerg.
Hatchery is the heart of any Zerg colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions.
Okay, so
create a drone and start gathering resources.
way ahead of you, Daggeth. Alright, done so. Alright, so I'm about to be told.
Overlords provide control for your minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them. You have enough minerals. Select a larva and mutate it into an overlord.
I know. Alright, doing so. Alright, just waiting to make sure there's no more tutorial stuff. Okay, this is about to be hatched, and I'll be told something's gonna come up, right?
To create new warrior strains, you must generate the various hive structures. The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building.
Okay, so there we go. So, here's the way the Zerg work. The Zerg work in a very different way than the Terran. They are very much a hive mentality. Everything is centralized and yet decentralized. So, the hatchery produces larvae. The larvae you can turn into units. Your gatherer units, the drones, turn into buildings. You lose a drone if you make it into a building. And you can only have up to 3 larvae per hatchery at a time. Instead of having buildings like the supply depots be your population, instead you have units called the overlords, which also serve as your detector units. To balance this out, they are starting off with extremely slow speed, and even when you upgrade it, it's not that much better. So, anyway, what we're going to do here is going to gather up our resources. Here's this chrysalis, which apparently is what we're supposed to protect in this level. Not quite sure what's in there. Of course I know, but we'll wait for that.
Order your drone to become a spawning pool.
We need more minerals, Daggeth.
Structures can only implant themselves upon the creep.
Alright, there we go. That's another aspect, is the creep.
You can make creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon open ground.
or an extractor, which is what's on a Vespene geyser, but that's not important right now. Anyway,
Require more minerals.
Anyway, so if you want to select all possible larvae, you just click on the hatchery and hit select larva, or S. So we're turning first one of our drones into a spawning pool that will allow us to create more Zerglings. We could use more drones.
Require more minerals.
Anyway, here are creep colonies. Creep colonies will extend the creep by a certain radius, and other buildings and every building except for the hatchery has to be built upon creep. If you remember Warcraft 3 with the blight for the undead, well, this came first. There you go. We need a Hydralisk den, which will require a spawning pool, so whatever. Deal with that. Actually, we're going to need an extractor, so there you go. As you can see, the extractor can also be placed upon technically open ground since it's on a geyser. A little bit of a cheat, but whatever. I mean, it's not a cheat. What I mean is it's a bit of an exception, but it doesn't really make a difference. Alright, so now we have this done. We can now produce, from the same larva, Zerglings. What's cool about Zerglings is, for 50 minerals, we'll wait and see.
Greetings, I am Zaz. I too am a cerebrate of the Overmind. I have located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the Chrysalis and the Hive Cluster. You must not allow them to leave here alive.
Zaz is a dick. Anyway, for 50 minerals and 1 supply, you get 2 Zerglings. How sweet is that? Anyway, don't go up against the Terrans yet, because Zerglings die like, Zerglings against fire bats. So while these guys are gathering some gas for us, that'll be that. We can turn this into a sunken colony. Creep colonies are also, when you upgrade them, double as defensive structures for the Zerg. And that's how we're going to be doing okay in that regard. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually create a second hatchery, since that will double our ability to produce. This will be extremely important, especially in later missions, and especially in the expansion pack where you really need to be producing all out all the time. In the meantime, Zerglings are very cheap, so you might as well just make more of them, There you go. Let's get Zerg Group 1, we'll attack there, see how that goes. Probably not well, but whatever. Oh, there we go. Terran Goliaths suck against Zerglings. Not quite sure why. You'd think they do better, but they don't. These guys are so easy to just mass produce really fast. But the real powerhouse lies in the Zerglings. Not in the Zerglings, but in the Hydralisks. We'll get to those in a few minutes. Or possibly in the next part. I forget how much time I've spent. Probably not a good idea. Anyway, we can get faster Zergling movement. That'll be useful. Have one of these guys turn into a Hydralisk den if possible. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Get these guys over here with the rest of them. Nice. That's being upgraded. Cool. Turn one of these guys into a drone. Nice. Oh, here they come. There we are. Now we can get multiple... Oh, hello. Get these guys down here. Whoops. So much for that. Anyway, our Hydralisk den is finally up finished. So now let's make ourselves some Hydralisks. Anyways, I'm going to cut off this video right now. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. We will continue this level next time on the Cave of Wonders. See you later.